Today is September the 30th. And I'm kind of weirdly starting with Math Workshop because I've said this in every class and I want to make it known. We talked about it last week and I'm still grading them, but our Math Workshops are now going to be test grades. Our Math Workshops are going to be test grades, which honestly should work out better because if you will correct them with me and do them with me, it's kind of like earning a free good test grade, okay? The other thing I want to state is that you should have work on your paper or your notebook paper or the back. There is no way to do this one with no work. So, I've said this to every class today. I need work. No work equals no credit. Especially since I go over a lot of these. Usually I go over all but like maybe 2 of them. So, trying to think of how to say that. If you just copy my answers, is what I'm getting at. It's not really fair or right. Now, I will also add this about this one, okay? Our next test is Friday, and it's going to have topics like the add, subtract fractions. It's going to have, which there's more here, and then it's going to have the simplifying. And the only other thing was changing decimal to fraction and fraction to decimal. So a lot of this is kind of like what's on Friday's test anyway. So it's kind of nice. Anyway. Okay, now, the one question I've had 100 times today is, can we just kind of, what I call scoot over the numbers? And that doesn't bother me. Like, okay, like if I see this one, and you took this number and you slid it over under here, that's fine. You could put that one under there. With it being adding, it doesn't matter. That, I see what you did. It's fine. Okay. I just got some of you writing that answer, and that's it. And I hate to be weird, but all I think is you just copied my work, okay? Now, granted, on number 2, there's only one way to do this. For subtraction, this has to be on top. So I'm going to slide that way, okay? Putting the 3 under the 2, making sure it's all lined up. And if you did it on the back, that's great, guys. I flip them over. If I don't see it on the front, I'll look on the back. If it's not on the back, I hope there's notebook paper stapled to it, okay? Like the next 2 tomorrow, there's no way to do those without paper or writing. They're multiply and divide. So, okay, will you click this behind Math Workshop? Click it, click it, click it. That's one biggie has been that some of you have lost it, and then when you go to turn it in, you know, you don't have it finished or whatever. It's been kind of rough, so. Okay, here is my plan. I'm going to teach the lesson about simplifying fractions, which we've talked a bunch about. I've tried to cover this quite a few times. Okay, what's happening is we are getting them partially simplified. Like some of us are making it to something like 10 over 20, but 10 over 20 should be simplified to 1/2 in the end. Some of you are making it to something like 5/10, but not going again to the simplest form, okay? The other version is when the top number is bigger, dividing it out and doing the backwards check mark. So what we're going to do is just practice for 2 days. We're going to practice just trying to get as many simplified as possible. And what I'm calling for the Goofy Learning Target today is I can simplify fractions completely, meaning to its simplest form. You got to kind of quit doing partial credit so much when it comes to simplifying. So here's the plan. What I'm going to do is literally use today's assignment to teach you stuff, to talk about the different styles and different versions. The kids who've worked hard in class have finished this, and they don't have homework. Hopefully this will be that group also. So here we go. Okay. I will say this, for my friends, multiplication tables. This is one of the biggest reasons that I have begged, borrowed, and pleaded with you guys to learn multiplication tables. It really wasn't multiplication. It was more of fractions and simplify. 3, 4. Yeah, I can fit it right here on this worksheet. I have been able to fit it on here. And there's one I might put on the back. I'll put that one. Okay. Yeah, if you want to go ahead, that's fine. I'm going to kind of start going. Here we go. So, today is Monday. We're going to do simplifying fractions Monday and Tuesday. 1 second. 3. Okay. Okay. So starting out, like number 1 is one of the easy ones. 2/4 divided by 1/2. 2 to make. You got it. And these are the easy ones. When you see the ones that just have a top and a bottom that divide by something, like this just divides by 2. Notice the trick is same number dividing on the top and the bottom. Okay, get your 1/2 and then check and make sure nothing goes into those 1 and 2. Okay, I usually circle my answer or something. Here we go. Okay, so looking at number 2, this is kind of like the other version, I call it. 1 second, it's kind of, camera's doing some weird stuff. Okay, so the other version is when the top number is bigger than the bottom. What do we have to do? Divide. We got to divide 38 divided by 20. So, I take 38 and I literally divide by 20. If you can't do it in your head, I do 20 into 38 would be 1 time. And then my mixed number is created from this division. So it's like a backwards check mark. It is 1/18/20. So 1 whole time. 18's left over out of 20. But it divides by 2. You're right. 18 and 20 are divisible by 2. So, in the end, I'm kind of running out of space. I get 1 9/10. You got it. Go into that simplest form. Yes?
I simplified the fraction first before I did.
Love it. And that's fine. Listen, I've had this in every class, and it's awesome. You can take 38/20. Did you divide it by 2 first?
Yeah.
Okay. And you got 19 over 10. So she divided by 2 first. Got 19 over 10. Now the top number is still bigger, but how many 10s are in 19? 1. How many's left over? 9 tenths. Notice, her answer is the same as ours. It doesn't matter which order you do it in, if you divide by the 2 or you switch it, as long as we all get to the 1 9/10. It's kind of like different ways we can do it. Okay, number 3. What is 35 and 40 simplify by? 5. So my top is 7, bottom is 8. Okay. Now, the next one is the one that I really want to show. Please stop. Thank you. Number 4 here is the biggie. We get a lot of weird ones like this when we multiply and divide fractions in a couple weeks. So that's why we're covering this. So number 4 is 5 and 22/4. Okay. 1 minute. 5 and 22/4. Numbers at 4. Okay. With that 4 and that 5, I was getting confused. Okay. So I personally start out by taking this improper and I'm going to change it to a mixed number. So how many 4s are in 22? So 22 divided by 4 is 5. So there's my backwards check mark. 5 and 2/4. Okay, but I got to add in, there is another 5 right here. So now it is 10 and 2/4, which is 10 and 1/2. Right, simplifying by 2. That's why I wrote out all the steps, guys. If you don't know what I did, write the steps. Write the steps. It is not helping you if you just write the answer. Okay, so that one I ended up getting 10.5. I'll put on back. On back. 10.5. Okay. So like the next one. Looking at number 5. What I do is in order of, I ask myself, is the top number bigger than the bottom? No. And then I ask myself, can anything go into the top and the bottom evenly? Yes. What number? Let's go bigger. I'm going to challenge you. 4. Let's do 4. You can do 2, but you got to do 2 again. Okay, so if you do 4, you get 3 over 11. Right. And you can't simplify that. That's right. Okay. Try to do a few ahead of me and we'll check them. You got it. Go ahead of me. Do 6, 7, and 8. If you're done with 6, 7, and 8, keep going. Do 6, 7, and 8. Get 5 eighths on 6. 5 eighths. Okay. I'm assuming 7. You're seeing that top number is bigger. So you got 1 and what? 6/7. 7 will go into 13 one time. 6 left over. What about the next one, like number 8? 25 and 60.
11, 5, 12.
By 5, right?
Yes.
And just this part, not the big number, not the whole number. Keep the whole number. It's 5 over 12. Now, I want to show you a trick for ones that you don't think are divisible. Okay, so let me give you an example. Over here, there is one that a lot of kids keep telling me that might not be, You can't simplify it. Okay. And I'll do this one, number 22. Okay. And I'm going to tell you right now, they all simplify somehow. This whole worksheet simplifies somehow. Might be the top numbers bigger than the bottom, and it might be just divisible by something. Okay, if you don't know if it simplifies, this is what I need you to do. This is why I taught this last week. You're going to use a factor tree and find its greatest common factor. So think about taking 13 and 39. Well, relax, let me show you. What is the only thing that equals 13? 1 times 13. So I could have circled it here or here. To be honest, probably there. Okay. 39. What makes 39? 3 times 13. Okay, they're prime. So what number goes into both of them? 13. That means my GCF 13 can simplify these. If you had no matches, none, zero, zilch, that would just mean it's in its simplest form. But since 13's in both of them, my GCF is 13. Okay, yes?
Can you do I don't understand.
But listen, 35 should be screaming at you what number? What multiplication table?
5.
5 times what? 7.
Oh, I see it.
You got it? Like, there's some weird ones on here, but guys, we should, like, most, I think there's 2 trickers, but most of these should be, you should see them. Like, a lot of them are just basic multiplication tables. Okay, so you are finishing. The rest of this, it's 8, 9, just keep going. I'm showing a picture of it, just in case. Okay. The rest of this class period, you're going to finish this, classwork, homework, hopefully just classwork. I'm going to try to pass back any and every paper I can. I have run out of time with some classes. Okay. And what I don't get passed back today, I'll pass back tomorrow. So, just finish this right now. Yes. Oh, okay. 1 second. Coming back one last time. Okay, I'm going to show you one other trick, one other thing. What if, hint, hint, ha ha, you have something like this? Let's say you have, let me give you 2 different examples. Let's say you have this, 12 over 6, and they ask you to simplify it, 12 over 6. Guys, you need to look, because there's a couple on the paper like this. Not these numbers, but you need to kind of look. What should we do with 12 over 6? Divide. Like it's just what? It's just 2. It is a whole number because there's no remainder. It's just a big fat 2. Okay. What if, I want you to think about this, what if it's something like this? Okay, so 20, I want you to think about it. What is 20 over 10, though? 2, no remainder, right? Plus 13, 15. So sometimes you can even get a whole number that needs to be added to another whole number. If there's no remainder, it goes evenly. So even if it's like 15 over 5. Well, 15 divided by 5 is 3. There's nothing left over. It is just a big fat whole number. Okay? So I'm just throwing that out there because there's a couple on the front like that. Okay. And I was thinking about it. Okay. Now we'll try stuff.